Okay, so Baccarat, you're playing it wrong. That's the title of this video. This is my first video, so I do apologize for the quality. I just thought I'd share my Baccarat playing and perhaps my strategy and recovery strategy, because it seems like some people could use it. I've seen a lot on online regarding um, patterns, betting patterns, etc. And also, there's some apps out there where everyone's using the bead road and nobody seems to be using derived roads. So you're not playing Baccarat correctly. They're there to help you, which is what I use. So let me see if I can get a table up. Just bear with me one moment. And then we'll have a look at trying to get 5 units. I want a pretty fresh table if I can. Just bear with me one moment. Just going to pause while I find one.
For the player,
So here we've got a brand new shoe just started.
It's a small game and my compliments. Enjoy
Yeah,
betting
to let you know this balance here is money I built up from less than £50 using this strategy that I'm using now, which I will go over.
for the player and that's 5 for the banker. Extra cut for the player
I just
5.
need to sit out a couple of times
To 1 equality on
for the
5
first couple of hands.
115
I
to 1
don't
a
even
big
know.
game, big
I'm
payout.
not going
My
to go into
compliments.
the derived roads and how to read them and how they're created. There's plenty of videos on YouTube about that. But that is what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the derived road. So we won't get the first one until we've got something in this column.
For the banker.
Sorry, in this column, like a player like that.
Small game win. My
Okay.
compliments.
Next time we'll get
Let's
something
open.
down here. I'm not going to bet yet, but I think it might be red. A lot of the time it's red.
That's 5 for the player and that's 6 for the banker. Extra for the player 4. Banker wins with
And
6
it's
for
red.
player 4. Big game. My compliments. Enjoy betting.
Let's see if we can get a blue on the big eye road.
No, that's a 1 for the player and that's 4 here. Extra cut for the player 4 and extra cut for the banker 4. Well, players, ladies and gents,
Pretty tight.
for 122 1. Well, big game and big payout. My compliments.
Hopefully we'll get a blue. Let's get going.
And that's no more bets. 2 for the player and that's 4 for the banker. Extra cut for the player 1. Banker wins with
That'll
4
do.
over player 1. Big game round. My compliments. Betting time now. Enjoy.
So I'm going to bet one player. I'll do £5 units. I'm only aiming for 5 units. I only aim for 5 units a session. Hopefully we don't have to go into recovery mode. Natural 9 will do.
Play wins with natural 9 over banker 6.
It was nice to win.
Small game win. My compliments. Enjoy betting time now.
So I'm going to go on banker.
No bets 4 for the player. 3 for the banker. Well, extra cut for the player.
Reduce that.
Extra cut for the banker.
Improve
5.
that.
Banker wins with
Thank
5
you.
over player 4. It's a big game round. My compliments. Bets open.
Going to repeat bet banker. I'm chasing these blues on the big eye road. That's what I want to chase. That's part of my strategy, which I will go into.
No more bets. Well, natural 8 for the player, and that's 5 here.
That's
for
not
the
going to
banker.
help.
Play wins with natural 8 over
So
banker
now
strike.
because I
Small game
lost,
round,
I'm going
my
to set out for
compliments.
two
Enjoy
hands.
betting time now.
I set out for two hands on a loss unless I get tempted in, which is something I'll go into deeper even when I explain the strategy fully.
No bets, natural line for the player. Natural line for the banker. Well, that's equality 8
Another
to 1.
time.
Equality on 9 is 80 to 1. Small game,
That
big
don't
bluff,
count, so
my
I've still to
compliments.
set out for
Bets
two
open.
hands. I use the Lambert
No more bets.
progression system
Well, Baccarat for the player, and that's 2
for
for
this
the
main part of the
banker.
strategy.
Extra cut for the player Baccarat, and extra cut for the banker for. Banker wins with 4 over
So
players
I set out
Baccarat.
for one
Big
hand.
game
Like
round,
I
my
said, I followed
compliments.
the
Enjoy.
blue. So that stopped me from being another loss there. That's why I set out. I don't want to catch a bleed. These that go down, the cold bleeds. I don't want to catch a red bleed. I want to catch a blue bleed.
Well, 7 for the player. That's natural line here. Banker wins with natural line over player 7. Small game round.
Okay, so that's two
My
hands set out
compliments.
now. My
Enjoy
last
betting
bet was
time
for
now.
one unit. So I'm going to pick player now for 2 units. The Lambert. The Lambert, however you say it.
No more bets. 6 for the player. Specker for the banker. Extra for the banker 6. Well, it's equality 8 to 1.
No more
Equality on
time.
6 is 45 to 1. With the player either pair. My compliments. Enjoy.
Come on, let's get a player win now.
Alright, natural line for the player.
Natural will do me.
4 for the banker. Play wins with natural line over banker score. Small
Thank you
game
kindly.
round.
Back
1.5
down to
to
one
1 is the
unit.
pair.
This time we're going on
My
bank count. For those
compliments.
of you who don't know
Bets are
how
open.
this is all worked out, you can tell which one you want to bet on when you're looking. If you think this is going to be a blue
No more bets.
circle,
That's a backer for the player.
you can see it
That's
up
5
here on
for
your
the
prediction
banker.
buttons.
Extra for the player
So
backer.
this is what's
Banker
told
wins
me a
with 4
banker
over
for the blue
players
circle
Baccarat.
there,
Big game round.
which is one.
My
I want another
compliments.
blue
Enjoy
circle.
betting time
I
now.
want another banker. I'll rebet. Same with these on the small road. If you think it's going to be a red dot, another red dot, you'd bet banker. If you think it's going to be a blue dot, you bet player. This is
Alright,
what
no
these
more
are for
bets.
to
Well,
tell you that.
natural 8 for the player, and that's natural 9
And
for the
natural
banker.
8. Oh, natural
Banker
9. I
wins with
didn't expect
natural
to
9
win
over
that,
player
but we
8.
did.
Small game win.
Now
My
I've got four
compliments.
in a
Betting
row.
time now.
I half me bet. I can't half £5. So I'll just put two on because I'm expecting this to change within the next couple of rounds. So I half me bet.
Well, 2 for the player. 5 for the banker. Extra cut for the player 2. Banker wins with 5 over player
I won
2.
that,
Big
but I
game round.
actually
My
bet on the wrong
compliments.
side.
Enjoy
I should have
betting
bet
time
on
now.
player, so I've been lucky. So that would have been a loss. I would be sitting out for two hands. Wasn't paying attention then, but I should have bet on player. Player had the blue circle on.
No more
So I'll
bets.
set up with
7
two
for the
hands now.
player.
Hopefully we'll get a banker
5
win
for
here.
the banker. Extra cut for the banker
Not
9.
going to do though. Oh, we
Banker
are.
wins with 9 over
Excellent. We'll get a
player
banker
7.
win.
It's a
That's
big
four
game round.
bankers
My
in a row.
compliments. Bets
It's put
open.
me a red circle there, so that's nice. That puts a bit of confidence in the next bet, which would be
No more bets. Well, natural 9 for the player, and that's 2
I've
here for
actually
the
hit
banker.
5 targets.
Player wins with natural 9 over bankers 2. Small game
Don't
round.
need
My
another bet.
compliments. Enjoy.
Started with 9995. Let's go for it anyway. Let's pretend I started with 1,000. Oh, messed it up now.
Alright, 4 for the player, and that's natural 8 for the banker. Banker wins with
I
natural 8
won it
over player
anyway.
4. Small game
Uh,
round. My compliments. Enjoy betting time now.
I messed that up. I'm going to go for £1. I'm going to go for £1. I still go for the blue circle just to get it to 102. I've already got me 5 units. I did start at
Well, 3 for
9995.
the player.
Uh,
Natural 8 for
995.
the banker. Banker wins with natural 8 over
Got me
player
£1.
3.
Let's
Small
say it's
game
five
round. My
units. Actually,
compliments.
6
Enjoy.
units.
That's all.
So that's it. So That's me won my strategy.
Last seconds.
Luckily, I didn't have to go into recovery. And
No more.
yeah, if
Well, six
anybody's
for the
interested,
player. It's five
I
for the
will.
banker.
Do you leave a
Extra cut for the
comment
banker seven. Banker wins
or
at seven over player
a
six. It's a
request,
big game.
and I will
My
go in depth
compliments. Enjoy.
into the strategy and also into recovery mode when you do get into trouble with your progression, which all strategies get into trouble with the progression. Um, but this is quite a unique
Well,
strategy, I
that's
feel.
one for the player,
The
and that's
reasoning,
three for the banker.
I'll
Extra
just
cut
give
for
you a
the
bit of
player
reasoning
one, and
behind
extra cut for the
my
banker Baccarat. Play
selections.
wins with
Is
1 over banker's Baccarat. Big
Baccarat
game run. My
is
compliments. Bets open.
random number
Enjoy.
generation. You got two random numbers being generated, the highest one wins. That's what it is. They just use playing cards to generate the numbers. It can be as simple as that. So looking for patterns on the
No more
bead road. I
bets.
don't use
Well,
the
3
bead
for the
road, by the
player.
way, but looking for
3 for the
patterns on the bead
banker.
road.
Extra cut for the
You're
player
not going to find
Baccarat, and extra cut
patterns
for the
in
banker 9.
random number
Banker wins
generation.
with 9 over
Yes, you
players
do for a
Baccarat. Big
short
game
while,
run. My
but over the
compliments.
long
Bets
run,
open.
chaos ensues because it's random. It's like roulette, it's random. Now, on the bead road, on this big road, red means banker, blue means player. But down here on these three,
No more bets.
red
6
means
for the
order
player.
or patterns,
7 for the
blue means
banker. Banker
chaos
wins with 7
or
over
random,
player
as
6.
I
Small
call it.
game win. My compliments.
And
Enjoy betting time
you're
now.
going to get more random than you are going to get order. That's why I followed the blue. Now, I set out when I lose because if you get a long red
Alright,
chain,
7 for
that
the
could put you
player.
well deep into your
6 for the
progression. But if you
banker.
set out
Player
two
wins
and
with
then hit
7
another
over
one, then set out
26.
two, look at
Small
this.
game run.
You
My
would have carried on
compliments.
betting, would have had a
Bets open.
good few units there. Another thing to consider is if I was to bet now, banker, give me the blue circle. It also give me a blue toothpick for the, well,
Well, 5 for the
that's well
player.
due to
That's
change.
next 6 for the player.
So you might even want
12
to
for
sit out.
extra for the player 8. Play wins with
This
8 over
time it
banker
won't.
6.
Oh yeah,
It's a
there you
big
go. It
game run.
changed.
My compliments.
So
Bets
it changed
open.
to red.
Enjoy.
So a thing to note is on the small road and cockroach road, look look for the changes because they don't bleed as much as this. This doesn't bleed as much as the
Well,
big
2 for
road.
the
The big
player.
high road doesn't. You
3
get
for the
5, 6,
banker.
7 on the
Extra
big
cut
high
for the
road. You're
player
lucky. It's
2
rare.
and extra cut for
Even
the
4
banker
is not
3.
that common.
Banker wins with 3 over player 2. Big
Which
game
is
with
why after
players
4
perfect pair
I
24
have
to
me
1.
bet.
Players pair 11 to 1. Either
Small
player
road
is
and Cotswolds
possible.
Road, 3 or
My
4. If
compliments.
I get
Enjoy
5,
betting time now.
I'm definitely expecting it to change, and that'll influence me bet. Earlier on, I said I set out 2 unless I get tempted in. Well, that might tempt me in.
8
If
for the
there's a long
player. That's
cockroach road
natural
or a
9 for
long
the banker. Banker
small
wins
road,
with natural 9 over
that might
player
tempt
3.
me in.
Small game win. My
Let me see if I can
compliments.
find an
Enjoy
example.
betting
Just
now.
bear with me one moment while I pause. Here, we look here. This chat was froze for some reason. I don't know what's going on with that. But look at this on the big high road. So we lost and we set out 2 and lost again. We'd be setting out 2. But if you didn't, that'd be 4 into your progression. And we haven't had a blue bleed yet on here. So that could well put you into progression. That's the reason for sitting out. Let me see what else I can find. And look at that. Another one. Now, if I was on recovery mode where I go looking for triggers to get in rather than the main strategy, I would look at this and I might be tempted to get in looking for a banker with the blue circle. So let's just watch, see if that would have happened. Because I don't like going too deep in my progression. After 6 or 7, I'm looking at recovery mode, which is a different betting strategy altogether. Don't know why the video is lagging, it doesn't usually. But it's so slow, this Baccarat. Well, it didn't when it put another one on. Actually, put another one on. Not going to hang around because it's lagging. But I would expect a blue circle on the next one. Here's an example on the Cockroach Road earlier on. Look, there was 6 blue toothpicks. Well, after 5, I'd start thinking about betting for a red toothpick on this next one because it's bankers, because you're not going to get many more than that. So these are the things that you need to look at as well. Look at all 3 of these. I use my strategy of following the blue circles on the big eye road, but I also keep an eye on these to see what they're doing, and I'll happily sit out of a bet if I've got conflicting triggers. I know this is a quick intro to my strategy. If you do want if anyone does want a more in-depth explanation of it, I'll be happy to do that, make another video and let you know. But you are playing Baccarat wrong if you're not using the derived roads. I really do hope this helps some people, because it's not an easy game, but just looking for patterns on the bead road, you're gonna blow your bank. You're gonna blow your bankroll. C2 bet 4 might as well be called see your bankroll. Simple as that. Over and out.